with your new moon in Aries astrology report, and I am recording this today in the pines, snow-covered pines, just before that magical spring equinox, and the winds of change are moving along, and there is so much forward momentum on this new moon Aries. When we reach Aries in astrology, we begin that zodiac wheel once more, because Aries is the first sign, the first house of the zodiac. And so this is truly an astrological New Year's Day when we hit the new moon in Aries, and the sun enters Aries just the day before on March 20th, and that is when we do have the vernal spring equinox. And we just sprung forward on this day that I am recording this after teaching a Reiki class, and it's just crazy. I feel like time is speeding up, and I got to get this out before the sun goes and it gets dark. But we are getting those longer days now in the northern hemisphere, so I have just a little bit of time, and I just feel that time has been speeding up as we are really shifting into this new paradigm. Saturn just entered Pisces on the Virgo full moon, and Pluto is entering Aquarius, and we are just going to be wrapping up that North Node in Taurus, Scorpio, that whole death rebirth cycle that we were in all of 2022, and the North Nodes will shift this year into the Aries Libra North Node of the moon. So we just have so many big shifts, and we're in a period of reset, recalibration, rebirth, and Aries energy just wants to be born again and start over with a fresh, clean slate, like the clean snow I'm sitting in today. And the energy is really rising up now. Let me know if you can feel it, because I definitely feel we have this rising up, branching out like the old growth tree. And in the 9-star key astrology, which is that Eastern nature-based astrology, this 2023 year is the 4, the tree that bends in the wind. And I have been reading much more about that recently, because I personally, as a 3-star, I'm going through my 4 tree star. If you don't know Eastern astrology, I hope I'm not losing you. But I did a whole Lunar New Year report, and I will link to it below, because it is an amazing study of this nature-based astrology based on the 5-element system. And I am really finding with this tree that bends in the wind year that we really are going to be growing. It's a huge growth, a huge change year for us all. And we will be growing according to our adaptations that come from the external circumstances. And so a tree has to deal with so many things as it's growing up. It has to deal with wind and water. Does it have enough water? Is there a drought or is there a flood? Both of those can be equally bad for a tree. The roots saturated with too much water like they are in California right now, or does the tree not have enough water like this extended drought that we've been in here in Central Oregon where I live? And then is there obstacles to the growth? Is there a boulder in the way? Does the tree have to bend? I see so many trees out here in the forest that are bending. Maybe it was the wind, maybe something affected them that they had to grow a certain way. And that is sort of what we're dealing with this year, where we pivot and there's all these changes coming at us, and it's more of the external change. There's another tree that is the tree that I am, the 3 tree, which grows more inspired from within. And I prefer to grow with this internal inspiration than to be having to grow because of external influence. That's the year that we're in. So I'm just thinking a lot about that, and I've also been doing some astrocartography this month, which is so fascinating. I have a client who wants to move and she's really worried about climate change. So, like so many people, and she wants to know where should she move that would be safe. And she's a little bit older and just wants to retire somewhere that feels really safe. And it's so fun. I'm going to show a little diagram. I'm going to pop it in here because when you do astrocartography, you put your chart into this app that will show you the planetary lines and where they fall on the map. Like for me, I have a really strong Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn, and I notice in my astrocartography that everywhere I have lived has aligned with my Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn all along. I've kind of gone up and down the West Coast from California to Seattle to Oregon, and all of it aligns perfectly. And so if you are thinking about making a move, as so many people are this spring, I think there's a lot of movement on the planet right now. I highly recommend getting an astrocartography astrology chart reading. I think I'm going to do a sale because I'm just having so much fun with astrocartography, and I'll put a link down below to that. There can also be the outer influences of the region that you live in. So it's also nice when you're doing astrocartography, if you have an idea of where you want to live, then I can also chart the place that you want to live and look at the planetary alignment there and see how the planetary alignment of where you want to live corresponds with your own personal natal astrology chart. And we are just about to see more disasters in our world. I am so sad to say, but I'm really sensing some geopathic distress. Of course, we've had that Uranus and Taurus for so long, and we're still soaking in that Uranus and Taurus. Uranus is sudden, unexpected, shocking events, and Taurus is the earth. And now Venus has moved into Taurus, where Venus loves to be in Taurus. She feels right at home there. But it's going to be really interesting when Venus conjuncts Uranus coming in the future. And I just get this sense that we are not done with seeing mudslides, landslides, floods, earthquakes, maybe even volcanoes. Whew. So it is a good time to try to figure out where it is the safe place to live and how can we adapt to these changing tides on our planet. And I love this Henry Miller quote that says, "There is no salvation in becoming adapted to a world which is crazy." No salvation in becoming adapted to a world that is crazy. That's the theme of this Aries new moon. We can adapt as much as we can, like the tree that bends in the wind. But, you know, with the way the world is going, there may just not be a way to adapt to the craziness that is coming down the pike. And maybe we're not going to adapt as much as we are going to create, co-create with each other, with an increased energy vibration, a brand new paradigm, a brand new way forward, a whole new world. And it might not even matter because honestly, we could get obliterated by these solar storms. Have you been following the solar storms? I dare you to take a little journey, a little rabbit hole down the NASA solar storm, solar flares pages, because it is some scary stuff. And on March 9th, we just had one of the biggest X1 solar storms in all recorded history. The aurora borealises were off the hook. I saw some beautiful photographs and videos streaming all through YouTube and social media on March 10th. And wow, they were really feeling it this week. And you can have these solar storm symptoms. And I'm curious, let me know in the comments if any of you guys experience any of these. Some of the solar storm experiences I was seeing in my massage clients was headaches, severe headaches, jaw, neck tension, just like you're just clenched tight in your neck and jaw and you don't know why. and vertigo and fevers, dizziness, ears ringing, insomnia, where you can't sleep, but then when you finally do fall asleep, just crazy dreams. I think they had a Northern Exposure episode about the crazy dreams that come when the aurora borealis is happening, and that is all taking place because of a solar storm, X1 solar storms and solar flares. And we can also have heart palpitations. There's an increase in stroke and heart attack that is, you can see this research in the hospitals, and they've done comparisons where we are seeing more heart attack and stroke now because we are having increased solar storms on our planet. And there can also just be extreme anxiety where you're just so anxious and you don't even have a reason for the anxiety, and also exhaustion, confusion, and a feeling like time is speeding up. And I've definitely been feeling the time is speeding up thing all week. And we made a healing soundscape for music. It's these binaural frequency sounds that really help to calm your nervous system when we are going through solar storms. And I was listening to them all week when I was doing massage and Reiki sessions this last week, and my clients were like, I feel like I can take a deep breath now, and I feel calmer. And several of my clients said that they listened to them at night and they slept better. So I will link down below, because we're just going to see more and more of these solar storms. And NASA believes that 2025, it's all building up to 2025, when the sun could practically obliterate itself, Earth implode. I don't know, but I can't wait to get to 2026. I can't wait to be doing a recording on 2026 and be like, phew, we didn't die from a sun explosion. But let me know if you've had any of these solar storm little weird sensations or experiences this last week, and then listen to the healing soundscape. And you can check the NASA page to see when the next solar storms are, so you'll be ready. I feel like it helps me to know, like, oh, this is just a solar storm. I'm not going crazy. And I finally wrapped up all the astrology charts from my Christmas, New Year's sales. Thank you so much for your support in purchasing those. And I really saw that people seem to fall into two categories when I was doing these astrology charts. It was so interesting. I just wanted to share that it seems like some people this year are just really getting into this expansion of love and light and these higher energetic frequencies that really is coming from a strong Jupiter faith and Neptune that's so spiritual and giving those blessings and enlightenment and good vibes. But then on the flip side, there's a whole group of you who just seem like you're going to be going through so many struggles. There's a lot of people who have strong Saturn square influences. I know Saturn square had been affecting the fixed signs, and now it's moving on. Now that Saturn has moved on to Pisces, it's going to be affecting the mutable signs like Pisces and Gemini and all the mutable signs. And that Saturn square energy is causing struggles, and it can really feel like conflict and being put through the ringer. And if you are in that group, which I know, I just read a beautiful Aries friend, and she's actually having a birthday this weekend, so happy birthday, Diana. And if you are one of those people who has a more intense experience in 2023, I want you to know that this dark night of the soul, the struggle, the tension, the squares, is just preparing you to get your superpowers, and that you will be empowered by whatever comes your way, and you can handle it, and you will only grow stronger. What's that song? It doesn't kill you, makes you stronger. So you are just getting your muscles strengthened, you're getting those superpowers, and you can get through it through the power of Reiki. And reach out if you're having a hard time right now, because it really seems like everybody I read fell in one of two camps. It was either love, light, and rainbows, or it was struggle, hardship, conflict. And that is just the way of this year, I think. And so if you are in that really difficult group, there may be some people or situations coming down the pike that just want to drag you down and lower your vibration. And this season, going into spring, is a really good time to do that energy clearings. And if you've never experienced a pendulum energy clearing, I do these pendulum energy clearings, I would be happy to meet with you on Zoom, no matter where you are, and do an energy clearing to just help you through, and maybe some distance Reiki and energy work to just help you through, so that you can join the other people over in the love and light category. Because Aries is all about getting in touch with yourself and becoming who you are meant to be in this lifetime, and getting into those I am affirmations and giving yourself self-love. And I think transcending all the, conflict is a form of self-love, self-care. And sometimes when you start doing this kind of law of attraction, higher energetic vibrations, quantum leap manifestation work, you might discover that the biggest block on your path forward is actually you. So sometimes you are the rock or the obstacle that is preventing the tree from growing forth, right? And it can be a powerful revelation to just transcend anything that is blocking you. And even if that thing that is that you need to transcend is your own personal bullshit, that's a big life lesson. And if you want your life to get better, if you want your outer world to be more of what you want, you've got to start by changing your inner world. As I always say, it all begins within. And changing yourself, healing from the inside out, things will begin to change, because transformation is an inside job. And this Aries new moon is really asking us to heal our own wounds, and remember not to focus on the bad things in your life, because you will only create more negativity, more bad things when you focus on them. Whenever your energy goes, especially with this potent Aries new moon energy, you will just manifest more of it. And I really saw this recently. We had some neighbors over the past year who moved in, and they were working on all these cars, and they were souping them up into being race cars, like really illegal race cars, and they were like riding them down our very residential 20-mile-per-hour street. And some of the neighbors were just freaking out, and there was a lot of drama around these people. And for just a minute, I kind of got immersed in it too. It's like, I want them gone as well. I want to be able to walk my dog and not worry that I'm going to get run over by a race car going 100 miles an hour on a 20-mile. But I noticed that when I was focused on how much I didn't like having them there, it seemed like they were only increasing, like my focus, my energy on what I didn't want. Have you ever had that in your life where you focus on something that you don't want to manifest, and you just, oh, I hate this thing, I hate this person at work, or I hate these neighbors. And the more you focus on it, almost like the more prevalent it becomes. Like all of a sudden there was even more people living there and even more cars. And I thought, my gosh, I have got to stop giving my energy to the situation. I have to ignore it. Even when neighbors would talk about it, I was like barely listening. I was like, see no evil, hear no evil. I don't want to think about it. I just sort of energetically ghosted that house. I didn't listen for the cars speeding down the road. I just ignored it. And an amazing thing happened about 2 to 3 weeks after I completely ignored it and I didn't give it any of my attention. All of a sudden, all of these car people just packed up and moved out, and they were just gone. And I don't know if a neighbor had done something about it, but I didn't do anything. I just didn't give it my attention, and it went away. So if you have something negative in your life right now, I invite you to just ignore it. Just for a minute. Just give it 2 weeks. Like, I'm just going to try this out. I'm just going to try completely ignoring the thing. I don't know, I think it's worth a try, because when you are giving it your energy, your attention, if you're frustrated by someone, you're just feeding it energy. Even if it's negative energy, you are increasing it. Because I know, as a Reiki master teacher, I feel like anything I give my attention to, whether I like it or I don't like it, it expands, right? I get more of it. So I'm going to give all my attention and focus to the things I love, my family, my son, my cats. I'm just going to pay all the attention to the joyful things in my life so I can have more joy and more good things, and focus on the good. Focus on what you want to manifest with this Aries energy especially. And we have Jupiter, the planet of expansion, conjunct Chiron in Aries, the wounded warrior healer. And so many of us are going through our Chiron in Aries return. I finished mine last year, but if you were born between, I think it was 1969 to 1976, maybe it was sooner, I'll leave it down below, I can't remember right now, but you're going through your Chiron and Aries return. And so this is a time to heal those inner wounds, and Jupiter conjunct Chiron on March 11th is really expanding that healing and asking you, healer, heal thyself. And Jupiter will also be square Saturn, who just entered Pisces on this new moon. And remember what I was saying about Saturn squares, they bring conflict and those deep soul lessons that you're not getting out of. There's going to be some big, hard lessons for some people, especially if you're Pisces and Aries. And it's that diamond making pressure and tension. And there may be some limitations or things just breaking down in your world right now. So I see so much financial turmoil that could come of this. In our housing market is just, they're saying it's going back to 2008, but you know, that actually can be a good time for some people. We bought our house in Seattle in 2008, and although the financial housing market crashed for many, for us, it was this little window of opportunity where we could finally afford to get in and get a house. So don't get caught up in the narrative. Create your own story, but also the Saturn square can cause some tension. So it's just time to get back into energetic alignment, to go within, get Reiki, get that energy clearing. Do yoga, eat the nourishing foods, get out into nature. Nature heals all, and go for a hike and do some earthing, get your feet out into the ground, and turn off the news this month. The news isn't going to be giving you anything good with this energy. So try to just be more mindful than ever with what you are energetically consuming. And I personally, I'm taking this month to have a negativity diet. I'm just going to try to avoid, it's like I am gluten-free, or I should be. Sometimes I cheat, but just like I try not to eat gluten, I'm going to try not to eat negativity for this month, because we have all this really juicy, positive energy that wants us to move forward, to go in a new direction, to really find our new path, new momentum. And if you're just eating negativity, like calories, like empty calories, it's that negativity is going to keep you from starting and forging that new path with the new positive energy that's coming in. So just only eat the positive things this month, and see if you can get on that upward spiral, because there is an upward spiral. There is this quantum leap, higher vibrational energy that is coming into our world if you align with it, if you stay positive. And I'm not talking about Pollyanna toxic positivity here. You know that I'm the kind of person that if there is a bad astrological aspect, I will be the one to tell you to hide under the bed. I've done it before. I'll do it again, probably this May when we have that Scorpio lunar eclipse. And I am a Scorpio, but I'll still be hiding under the bed for that Scorpio lunar eclipse. I tell you what, So I'm not just, being like, oh, just be positive. It's not like that. It's just that if you can avoid negativity, if you are celebrating Lent this month, like so many people celebrate Lent, maybe you just want to give up negativity just for this month until Easter. Just try to avoid it. See if you can. It's harder to avoid negativity than you can imagine, but just try. And focus on the good. You will manifest more good. I promise you, this month and especially. And I love this quote. Do not believe all the things you are telling yourself. So sometimes that negativity is even coming from within, right? It's not out there. Sometimes that negativity can be our own thoughts. And it might be easier to avoid the negativity out there, turning off the news and not listening to all that negative social media garbage. But then what about the negativity that's coming from your own mind, from your own internal thoughts? How do you get rid of that, right? And oh my gosh, there's a beautiful eagle flying over, and I wish that I could turn the camera on it. Oh my gosh, the eagle knows how to get rid of the negativity. I tell you what, so many of us have this negative self-talk. And first you have to take some time out for yourself. And this Aries new moon is saying, love yourself. Take the time for yourself and just listen to your own thoughts. Meditate. Get really still and listen to what are you telling yourself, and figure out what it is. Maybe do some journal writing, and then see if you can just write down all the negative thoughts you have within and tear off a piece of paper and light it on fire. This Aries new moon is really a good time for self-exploration, journal writing. Really tap into what are the ways you're self-sabotaging your own growth forward. Just like that tree we were talking about, that tree that's so impacted by the water and the wind and the storms and everything. But that tree can also be impacted by your own negativity, your own negative self-sabotaging, internal limiting beliefs. So just get out your journal and write. And you don't have to beat yourself up about it. Be very gentle. Be very caring as you are exploring. I like to think of it like an arborist who's just curious. Why is this tree not growing? Why is this tree not manifesting? And like the arborist, you're just in a place of discovery, trying to figure out, does this tree need more nourishment? Does this tree need more self-care? Perhaps this tree needs more water. We could all probably drink more water as a massage therapist, I know that. And how can I best support myself in this next growth cycle? Because we are all moving into a huge growth cycle this spring. And what can I give to myself, to my own tree, to grow? And perhaps this tree can be so well nourished that it blooms like a cherry blossom tree this spring. And when you really take care of yourself and take care of your inner tree, you will be able to grow forth this spring and bloom. Because the truth is, what you want to manifest this spring is so much closer than you think it is. What you are seeking is seeking you. And whether it's love, connections, friendships, a new home, a new job, a new path, a new town to live in, whatever it is, if it's whatever that new path forward is for you, it's right here. It's right. You already have it. It's already done. It's just waiting for you to align to it, energetically align to it. And it's all so close, but you might be the boulder in your way. You might be getting in your own way by just trying to control the situation, or perhaps it's your own attachment to the outcome of what you think it should look look like or what it should be like. And your energetic blocks just might be all of your ideas about how it's supposed to show up and what it will be and what is preventing you from having it now. It could be you. So that is the kind of self-exploration that Aries wants you to do in the most loving, self-nurturing, taking care of yourself like you were a small child or a beautiful little kitten. You want to do this process of self-discovery in the most nourishing, nurturing way, like a mother caring for a child or someone who's caring for a rescue kitten or something. And it reminds me of the Taylor Swift song, It's Me. I'm the problem, it's me. Sometimes we got to take a look in the mirror and see if we are the problem. Maybe it's not all those people. Maybe it's not the bad neighbors or the bad boyfriend or the bad job. Maybe it's you. Maybe you are blocking your ability to have all that you desire right now. And I see this all the time in my Reiki circles when we come together and we're using Reiki symbols to manifest. It's so fun. And when I teach Reiki 2, I'm actually teaching a Reiki 2 class on April 22nd. For any of you who are watching who have already taken Reiki 1, April 22nd, I'm teaching Reiki 2, and you receive the Reiki symbols. And you can use those symbols to manifest. And we come together in circles, and we can send distance Reiki to each other's things. And I tell you, it is so much easier for me to help you manifest something. And I do this in Zoom. Sometimes I'll do distance Reiki to help people manifest things. Easy breezy, because I have no attachment to you getting the job, the house, the boyfriend, whatever. I can send off those distance Reiki symbols and put the energy for it and just put it in an envelope and send it off. And it happens effortlessly. People get what I send off the Reiki to, or in our circles, when we all come together, 3 or more in a group, it is a powerful thing. And we send Reiki. I can't believe the miracles we have manifested in these Reiki circles. And yet, if I am just on my own trying to manifest something for myself, it is so much harder because I have so much attachment to what my infinity pool looks like in my dream home. And it's just harder to manifest for yourself because we do get attached to the outcome. And it's harder to align because you have all kinds of ideas and you want to control how it's going to come and when it's going to come and what it's going to look like and where will it be. But when you align with your truest self, you will become unstoppable. You will become a magnet for what it is you want. You will become an energetic match, and you won't be having to work so hard to manifest what you want. It will just show up like a snap of the finger. It's too cold out here to snap my fingers. And so if whatever it is you're trying to manifest this new moon, Aries, put your seeds of intention. If you write what it is you want to manifest down below in the comments, I will send Reiki for it on this new moon. I will light my Mother Mary candle and send you some distance Reiki, and you can see if you can manifest it. And one of the best ways to manifest is to just put that seed of intention, write it in your journal. And we made some journals on Amazon. I'll link to those in the description if you're looking for a new journal, a Ganesh journal or a dandelion wish journal. And you just write that new moon intention in your journal, and then you have to let it go. Or write that new moon intention in the comments and let it go. It's the letting go that is the hardest part for manifesting. And this new moon Aries is all about the self. And like I said, we are moving into that North Node, Aries, Libra. And Aries is all about the self, and the opposite planet, Libra, is always the opposite. Libra is about relationships. So all year, we are going to start, once we go into that North Node, Aries, Libra, we're going to start working on ourself and our relationships. That is some real soul work right there, working on yourself to have a better relationship, right? And Aries really loves the I am. That is the word of Aries. I am. So spend some time this new moon writing out your I am affirmations, focused on becoming what it is you want to be in this lifetime. And what do you want to have? And try on as many affirmations as you can until you feel it feels right. And if an affirmation doesn't feel comfortable, well, you might need that one too. It's kind of like when you're in yoga. Sometimes it's the poses that don't feel comfortable that you really need to work on and keep trying to get to the place where that yoga pose doesn't hurt anymore, right? And one of my favorite affirmations I've been working on lately is I am asserting the mastery of my real, truest self. I am asserting the mastery of my real, truest self. And I read this in a book by William Walker Atkinson. And it's called The Art and Science of Personal Magnetism. And it is a really old book, and it's just a fun read. And he also said, thought is a force, a manifestation of energy, having a magnet-like power of attraction. And you can start small with any I am affirmations. You can Google, look for them. I'll drop some down below in the descriptions. You can simply say things that are easy, like I am love, I am resilient, I am caring. There's ones that just feel really easy to say. It's easy for me to say, I am caring, I am giving, I am receiving. I notice I have an easier time saying I am giving than I am receiving, because I am a giver, a healer, a caretaker. So saying I am caring and I am giving, that's breezy. But then when I say I am receiving, that is a little bit more of a yoga stretch for me, because I am better at giving than receiving, but it's something that I'm working on. So just play with these affirmations and see, oh, that one's really comfortable. That one's a little bit harder. And I am grateful for all of you watching right now. And I am becoming what I'm meant to be. And I am rising this spring. And let me know your favorite I am message in the comments as well. And just notice how you feel. Which one was easy? Which one was hard? And this is your new moon in Aries homework assignment. We're going to get rid of the negativity. We're going on a negativity diet. We're going to see which ways we're self-sabotaging. And then we're going to do these I am messages and really love ourselves, like that rescue kitten or the small baby child that we are within, right? And I just want to leave you with the Sabian symbol, because it just aligns so well with this. And you know what? I also want to say, if you do these I am messages, do them in the mirror. Try looking at yourself in the mirror and looking into your own eyes as you say I am. It is a really powerful exercise when you look at yourself in the mirror. Give yourself 5 minutes in the morning or maybe at the end of the day to just look at yourself in the mirror and affirm whatever it is I am you want to follow with, right? I am a lottery jackpot millionaire. That's one of my favorites. But anyways, and then the Sabian symbol ties in with this so well. For Aries 2 degrees, a comedian reveals human nature and the capacity to look objectively at oneself and at others, while in the first phase of the process of emergence is an impulsive and a desire to act. The second phase represents an attempt to evolve an objective awareness of one's own existence. Through a series of contrast and desire, consciousness is gradually being built. It is what is called reflective consciousness, the ability to see oneself reflected in a mirror and eventually laugh at any inadequacies of form one sees, and thus humor the triumph of, and through this humor, the triumph of objective consciousness over subjective feelings or moods or involvement in self. We have an objectivation of consciousness, which is a desire to become individually conscious of oneself. So do your mirror homework, looking in the mirror, stating I am. You'll probably laugh. That's fine. You can laugh at yourself. Laughing at yourself is better than crying, right? I think so. I'm a Scorpio. I don't like to cry. But I also love this quote. A little kingdom I possess where thoughts and feelings dwell, and very hard the task I find of governing it well. That's a really old quote too. And so spend some time in the mirror journaling this new moon. See if you can just have fun in this process of self-discovery, self-love, of becoming all that you can become with those I am messages. And I wish you the best new moon, and make sure to like, subscribe, and comment for a chance to win a free full astrology reading on the full moon coming in, full moon Libra coming in next time. Thanks for watching.